Ah, greetings, old friend. Come in and have some tea with me. I would love to sit and listen to some of your interesting stories again. How about some classic Earl Grey? Nothing fancy, but one of my favorites. Ah, that's better. So, you just returned from Serondale. That's practically on the other side of the globe. I'm sure you spent a good bit of mana on the jump back here. Would you care for a mana restore potion? Oh, hello everyone. It is me, Natural Wizard, and happy Friday to you all. Now just for a bit of a heads up, there will be no video on Monday, as I will be returning from Sakura-con that day, and will likely be drained of all of my energy. Anyway, today's video will be r/idontworkherelady, People of Walmart edition. And without further ado, let's begin. Now this first post is titled, People of Walmart Live Up to Their Reputation. Necessary background. I am Aussie, married to an Aussie, live in Australia. My husband firmly follows the tenet, happy wife, happy life. Hubs and I got married 5 years ago, and for our honeymoon, chose to travel to the Southern Mouse House, which I believe they're referring to Disneyland, but anyway. On one of our days with no plans, we decided to trek to Walmart so I could tell everyone we'd been there. Important to note, it was March, so I was wearing jeans, a t-shirt from the People Trap, and a cardigan because I was a bit chilly. Also important, I'm quite good at mimicking accents, and decided, for no apparent reason, to use a Southern American accent for the journey. Hubs once again went along as he thought it was funny. Once in Walmart, we went looking for People of Walmart to observe, and did we ever find a doozy. Trundling around on a scooter, hurling abuse at anyone and everyone who didn't get out of her way quick enough. I saw 2 Walmart drones in the next section, blatantly watching her tirade. Hubs and I were searching for a suitcase to buy, since we'd spent loads of money at the Mouse House, and needed extra space to transport it all home again, and the terror comes speeding around the corner, sees us and slams on her brakes. Following this was conversation, paraphrased because it was 5 years ago, and I don't remember exactly, but the gist is still clear. Also, I was still using the southern accent at this point.
Yo, help me find a random object.
I don't work here, I'm just looking at luggage.
Bullcrap, look at your clothes. You're clearly in uniform. You're not helping that man, so help me.
Ma'am, what part of teal green Ariel shirt and jeans look like the Walmart uniform? And my husband and I don't even live here, so I definitely don't work here. During this exchange, Hubs kept very quiet, in hopes of escaping her, I think. Also by this time, I realized my fake accent probably isn't helping to convince her I don't work here, so I decided to drop it. Occasionally I have to consciously go back to my natural accent, as I tend to forget I'm doing it if I do it long enough. Hell of a party trick. Irate lady continues to insist I work there, and that I just didn't want to help her because of whatever reason she could throw out. Finally, I got sick of her screaming and let loose myself. In the most Aussie accent ever, "Listen lady, I'm sorry you're too stupid to realize that a green shirt and jeans is not Walmart uniform. And I also am sorry that it took little common sense you do have and screwed it up by using a fake accent. But listen up, I don't effing work here, I don't effing live here. So frick off and annoy someone who gets paid to deal with your crap, and leave us alone." Meanwhile, Hubs is trying desperately not to piss himself laughing, having been on the end of a tirade himself a few times. "Well, I never. How rude." She turned into a gentle southern lady when screamed at. It was almost amusing. Quickly followed by my least favorite phrase,
Why don't you go back to where you came from then, ungrateful brat?
Hubs dragged me away then, before I could get into another screaming match with her, but not before I muttered, just loud enough for her to hear me, and I know she did, because she went bright red. Freaking bunt cake. Okay, so this lady is what me and some friends would have referred to in high school as a rascal. We used that phrase, I think, because one of the motorized scooter brands is called a rascal. But on another note, I freaking love Australians. Their accent is probably my favorite type of accent, and so if there's any Australians watching, I'm sorry if I butchered it, but I figured I should at least try to attempt it. Okay, I think it's time for the next post. It is called Woman Wants Video Games I Can't Give Her. A little backstory before I begin. I work at Walgreens and our uniforms are similar to those at Walmart. Black pants, black shoes, but our shirts are a really light blue with the Walgreens logo on it. I was wearing a jacket and had dyed hair at the time too, so that also goes against their dress code. I had just gotten off a mid-shift, and my mom had run to Walmart to pick up a few things that we didn't sell. No problem, I just look at video games while I wait for my mom to finish. Mind you, I'm 17, but people honestly think I'm 12. As I'm looking at some of the games, this entitled woman comes up to me. She's probably in her late 30s, early 40s, so definitely not some old frail weak woman. Will make sense in the upcoming story. "I need to buy a game, but I need you to get it out." I was startled because I look nothing like the employees, and I don't even think a minor can do anything but bag items at Walmart. Sorry, I can't help you. Ask someone over there. I point to the actual workers who seem to never leave the phone area. I've dealt with entitled customers all the time. People around where I live just seem to think the world revolves around them. The majority do. No, son. I asked you. You better do your job or I'm putting in a complaint. Look, I don't work here. Ask someone who can help you. You're just saying that so you don't get in trouble. You'd better help me or you're getting fired. Now I've got anger problems. I try to keep them under check, and I know this lady is setting me off, so I turn to leave. But this woman grabs me by the back of my hood and tries to yank me towards her. Of course, by then I lose my cool and I turn to yell at her. I also see that the actual staff have started to see the commotion and head over. I start yelling at her and telling her, put your hands on me again and I'll knock your effing teeth out. Probably not the best thing to do, but I'm only 5'2", so it wouldn't take much for her to throw me to the ground if caught off guard. Which is what she almost did, yanking me backwards, so I was absolutely pissed. So the employees rush over and step in between and ask what's going on. This little homophobic slur employee of yours was being rude to me, then started trying to fight me when I politely asked for her to grab me a game. At this point I'm just seeing red. She's lying, trying to get me in trouble. She's calling me slurs. I quickly text my mom to come back here. The employees look over and see my name tag. It was a smaller Walmart, so I'm assuming most employees know each other. We don't have anyone who works here with the name Alec, ma'am. Yes, you do. You're just trying to cover for her. Stop lying. It becomes her arguing back and forth between the employees before my mom arrives and a manager. Employees try to tell the manager what's going on while the woman screams, I need to be fired and put in jail. Oh, how could they treat customers like this? Of course I tell the manager the truth about what happened, even me yelling at her, and he knows I don't work there. As if this wasn't obvious enough. She goes on to tell her sob story of the big, mean, racial slur who threatened to kill her and other bullcrap. My mom? You're absolutely full of crap. My son isn't dumb. There's effing video recording. My mom went full on mama bear. Of course the lady is not having this and is just back to yelling slurs at me. A security guard comes over not long after my mom and the manager and escorts her out. Police arrive and take statements and view video recordings. Of course they arrest the lady for assault charges and I felt smug as ever. She got her justice served, and if she thinks she can go places and assault and yell slurs at people, sadly, she probably didn't learn any lessons. Still pisses me off that it happened to me. Honestly, some people's level of stupid is just bewildering. Like, how many times do you have to be told that they don't work there before it clicks? Or is she just so stubborn about refusing to accept that she made a mistake that the police have to get involved? Like, come on, lady. And it's 2019. There's no need to be throwing homophobic slurs out like that. And in this case, they weren't even a lesbian. It was a guy. Okay, lady, it's called situational awareness. Anyway, I think it's time we move on to the next post. It's called Black Friday at Walmart Fun. Between waiting an hour to get to the cash register at some stores and the sub-zero temperatures, I met one of those people of Walmart that you see in memes. She was a middle-aged white lady on the chubby side wearing a full-on onesie that may have been maybe 2 sizes too small for her. I'm wearing a blue Under Armour hoodie with a black Columbia jacket over the top that has the words Shock Trauma Center on the back and a small decal of the hospital I work at on the front. I'm also wearing blue track pants, so I don't really think I look like an employee other than the blue color. Anyway, slightly long, sorry. I was browsing the sales because they have these boxes in the middle of the aisle with various deals, and I'm going through various cool tech stuff near the electronics department. Did you know they have a smart light bulb now? What the heck? This lady with the onesie comes up and taps my shoulder, making a rather shrill ahem. So I step to the side the little amount I can because there were people to my left and my right thinking she just wanted to check some stuff out. Nope.
Don't just move to the side. Turn around and look at me when I'm talking to you.
Sorry, I didn't hear you say anything.
Whatever. Where can I find the shoe rack?
Probably somewhere in the home section?
Probably or definitely.
I don't know. It would make sense to be in there with the other storage items, right?
Well, if you don't know, go find out for me. I've been looking for hours and I can't find it.
This is where I should have mentioned that the store's only been open for 30 minutes so far. Why don't you ask him? I'm trying to find my own stuff, and I'm sure he can help you better than I can.
Well, I asked you, so you need to do it for me. I don't care if you don't know. If you don't know, you should go find out, instead of pushing it off to someone else like you kids seem to always do these days. Work for your money like I did.
I don't work here. I'm just shopping like you are.
Don't freaking lie to me, kid. I saw you putting stuff back into that box.
Because I was done looking at it?
Whatever the reason, you look like you were organizing it.
No, I just put things back where I find them if I'm not interested in them because I'm not a butthole. Her voice starts to get louder and ear-piercingly high-pitched at this point.
Don't you dare use that kind of language with me! I can make you lose your job with one simple complaint, so you better be careful what you say to me. If your next words don't have to do with finding my shoe rack, I'm going to your manager!
You're right. I apologize. Wait here and I'll see if I can find your shoe rack for you. And I walk away to go look at stuff in another section while she just stands there, thinking I won't run into her again. Boy, was I wrong. I met her again close to 20 minutes later in the women's clothing section, looking for a long dress-like shirt thing for my wife. I don't know what they're called. They're just really long shirts that go down to the knees. She loves to sleep in them. They're pretty comfy too.
Where the frick is my shoe rack? You said you would get it for me. I was standing there like an idiot for almost an hour.
I feel like she needs a lesson in telling time. I didn't make eye contact and just ignored her while trying to casually walk away, cause she was crazy. When she actually comes up to me and grabs my shoulder, forcefully turning me around and putting her face closer to mine.
Don't you freaking walk away from me while I'm talking to you. Take me to your manager right this instant.
Now, I'm usually a calm person and do my best to be nice to everyone, but I have an a-hole side to me. If you cross a line, and boy did she cross that line when she put her hand on me that forcefully. I'm not a big person, but apparently I can look threatening when I'm angry. Listen here, you oversized ape. Perhaps if you didn't exchange all of your IQ points for weight, you'd understand the first time when I said I don't effing work here. Secondly, even if I did, you have no right to ever put your hand on or treat anyone who works in customer service the way you do. Putting your hand on me like that is assault and I can have you charged for it. Third, instead of wasting all your time trying to find me for whatever reason, you can try to act like an independent human being and look for it yourself. If you've been here for hours and still can't find one item and asking one person isn't enough, try asking another person, preferably one who actually works here. Now piss off and leave me alone. With all the yelling, an actual employee as well as a cop came over to see what was going on. She interrupts before I can say anything.
I want this kid fired. I politely asked him where something was, and he goes off yelling and cursing at me, telling me to piss off and find it myself.
There's literally a camera right above us. You will find, if you look at it, that I was just looking at clothes when she grabs me and proceeds to yell in my face. If you follow me back about 20 to 30 minutes, you'll notice that she talked to me before too, where I informed her on multiple occasions that I don't work here.
He's lying. I want you to fire him right now, or I'll be taking my money elsewhere.
Right, because without your money, Walmart will go out of business and won't be able to move to large spaceships and ride big fancy floating chairs, because we're all too fat to walk on our own. Wally, anyone?
You're going to let your employee talk to a customer like that?
At this point, the employee tries to explain that I don't work here and offers to help her find what she needs, but she's either too dense to understand it or was in too deep to make it out without embarrassing herself. So she goes all in demanding my boss's boss, and I'm just here like, can I go now? It gets much less interesting at this point. She keeps yelling, manager comes, listens, cop escorts her out, manager apologizes and offers to give me a free drink or food, but I pass and go to buy this cute dress shirt of a beaver holding a mug of coffee with the words, "Damn tired" on it. Oh geez, just the thought of this lady is disturbing. Like, onesies are weird enough as it is, but this lady being overweight and wearing a onesie that's 2 sizes too small, on top of her disgusting personality, just makes for a bad picture. Not that I have anything against people that are overweight, I just have kind of a problem with people trying to squeeze into clothing that's way too small for them. So let's take me for example. I absolutely love to eat food, and I also love to drink beer, so I have a bit of a belly, and you will never ever see me trying to rock a schmedium shirt or anything like that. My normal shirt size is a large, but I always buy an extra large anyway. But that's because I like the way they fit, and it kinda hides my pudgy belly a little bit. But that's besides the point. This is a vile lady. Don't be like her. Well, I think I have time for one more quick one. It is called A Different Kind of I Don't Work Here Lady. Standing in the checkout line at Walmart, this old lady came by and started looking through cigarette lighters at the stand near the checkout. Then she went to the front of the line and talked to the cashier.
Hello, I'm looking for Zippo lighters. They told me the lighters are near the checkout.
Yes, they are right over there.
But those are plastic lighters. I'm looking for a Zippo for my husband.
A what?
Zippo! Metal lighters!
Cashier gives a blank look. I had to intervene. Ma'am, the Zippo lighters are at the jewelry section. See, over there where the watches are.
Oh, thank you. Do you know where the lint rollers are?
Over there, with the laundry and other cleaning supplies.
Thank you, young man. Do you work here?
No, I'm just a customer. I guess I come here a lot. She smiled, thanked me again, and was on her way. Well, now that's just wholesome. Now, I'm just imagining an old lady hobbling up past everyone to the front of the line and starts asking questions to the cashier. I'm sure there were quite a few people in line that were momentarily and internally angry, because you all know how long it can take to get through a checkout line. Personally, I can get a little impatient when it comes to that, so I usually just use the self-checkout. Alright, I hope you've all enjoyed this r/idontworkherelady People of Walmart edition. I know I enjoy hearing other people's crazy encounters at Wally World. And another reminder that there will be no video on Monday due to my first ever SoccerCon experience. If you live in Washington and are going to SoccerCon, it would be cool to see you there. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and spending some time with me. And as always, don't forget your tea before you go.